Hello, everybody. All right, so welcome to the Mikestand. Hope everybody's having a good week thus far. Today is Thursday, May 23rd, so this is another edition of all the latest in the world of neat and the world of anime, cartoons, comics, manga. This being Thursday, of course, is the night we usually dedicate to focusing in on Chris Braley's indie comic showcase article, and this week he does have one. And we'll get to that. Um, Also, of course, after that we'll have the wrestling wrap up and this day in each history. As of course we're heading, on the wrestling wrap up side of things, we are heading into this weekend where we will be. Of course, tomorrow will be from Saudi Arabia. The WWE will be holding its King and Queen of the Ring, and some announcements were just made today in regards to that. A couple of interesting announcements. We'll also go over the card up to this point because there'll probably be more stuff added on from tomorrow night's SmackDown. Also, AEW will go over, of course, last night's Go Home Dynamite, as they have this Sunday. They have the fifth anniversary of Double or Nothing from Las Vegas. We'll be going over what matches will be coming up, as some more matches were announced. Finish out to fill out the card, as it were. So, anyways, we're gonna give people a chance to come in here, and I kind of. But and as always, a reminder to everybody: if you haven't already, you guys can like and share the stream, see if we get some more friendly people in here to engage. That'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer your questions to the best of our ability. So, let's see now. So we're just waiting, giving people a chance to come in. Get along, gang. Get along, gang. Each one is special in his own way. Something about a get along gang, get along gang. Get up with the get along gang. Everyone is okay. Get up with the get along gang. Oh, get up with the get along gang. Everyone is okay. Get up with a get along gang. Oh, get up. Alrighty then. So, here we go. Let's see. So now we're just past the 4 minute mark. So why don't I go ahead and go grab the article as we prepare to, we of course prepare to get going here. Let's see. It is what, 4.5 minutes here. Let's see. Overtures, cut the lights. This is it. Tonight's the night. No more rehearsing or nursing our parts. We know every part by heart. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm strong to the finish when I eat my spinach. Popeye the Sailor Man. Yogi Bear. All right, so we're at the 5 minute mark now. So let me just do one more quick little thing, then I think we will get started with the articles here. Alrighty then. So let's get going here. Alrighty then. So Indie Comic Showcase number 274, Vampire, all right, Arcfire, and the Pumpkin Prince. Some interesting titles here. I mean, you would think that these titles would be more suited for Halloween, but I guess we're gonna find out what's going on here. So, article by Chris Braley published yesterday. So let's get into this. Welcome back to another installment of Indie Comic Showcase, the weekly blog where we signal boost a few truly independent creators, independent comics that are currently crowdfunding their projects, crowdsourcing their funding in some way, or just completely self-publishing on their own. Every little bit of support for these creators matters, from a single dollar pledge to the $25 bundle, and of course, the higher tiers are usually fun too. Even if you can't back a campaign or buy a book, you can share or tweet about these projects to your friends and followers. Or you can just come over to the Mikestand. We will tell you all about them as well. We will go over the article as well, go over the material as well here. On Indie Comic Showcase, we interview the creators, show off some art, tell you how you can check out the product for yourself. Below, we have some outstanding crowdfunding campaigns this week for you to learn about, enjoy, and hopefully support by backing one or more of them. Thanks for checking these out and for being the best part of Indie Comic Showcase. Let's jump in. So, and one more reminder just before we get into the first article there, of course, if you guys can, as I've asked several times, if you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people to engage, that'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. So, Vampire, number 4 by Zach Lynch. Let me go grab the link here. Let's see what article, this is a Kickstarter campaign. All right, so let me just grab the link here. There's the link. And of course, we will. Let me put this back up so you guys can see the cover there. Let's see. I do need to see. Let's see. All right. All right. Didn't mean to do that. So here's, of course, we're about to put in the link for you guys to. And there. Hey, Elk. Hail, Xenu and Xena. All right, so here's of course, the link to the first first campaign we're looking at here, Vampire number 4. If you guys want to go check that out, there it is. It's a Kickstarter campaign. And again, a reminder, as we do have somebody else in here now, if you guys haven't already, you guys can like and share the stream, see if we can get some more friendly people in here to engage. It'd be appreciated. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions, and I will try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. Well, with that being said here, supernatural stirring. So let's get into this article. Chris Braley, welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Zach. Oh, by the way, this is Vampire number 4 by Zach Lynch. So I should have said that at the very beginning. All right, so welcome to Indie. So Chris Braley says, "Welcome to Indie Comic Showcase." Zach, tell me the pitch for Vampire. Zach Lynch. What if your phone made a copy of you? Vampire is the tale of the first walking, talking AI being. Not only um, the is the beginning of the tale of Vampire, it is the Big Bang for the Blue Shack universe. All right, a unique story worth reading with world class art. All right, all right. So, Chris, how did you come up with this idea, and what sort of comic reader is going to enjoy it the most? So there's I guess some of the covers there for it. Zach, I wrote it back in 1994 after working at Defiant and Techno Comics. I planned to do it long ago, but another career took hold. Comic readers 10 to 100 is the suggested age, okay? I operate Blue Shack Comics as if the comics code was still in play. All of the greatest books were within the standards, and that's what made them universal. The intended audience is young new comic readers, as well as old school pro readers. Complex ideas that a youngster can elevate to and adults can chew on. Hmm, sounds pretty wholesome there. Oh, look at that. That looks like a Medusa creature right there. But it's a heavy metal guy, I would say. Huh. Let's, let's see. All right. All right. You on here? Chris, tell me a bit about your experience in comics, Zach. Zach, my style is that of Jim Shooter's style. I was his intern at Marvel and studied to be him. Oh, so a guy basically wanted to pattern himself after Jim Shooter. Okay. Um, Not a penciler, inker, or colorist, but him. Okay. I read Marvel comics like a junkie from 1978 to 88, and he was the editor in chief, so his influence beforehand was all encompassing. After comics, I spent 30 years in graphic design, photography, videography, and publishing. Now that I've come back to comics, my tool belt is extensive. Yeah, he's got his own utility belt, right? Look at that. Now, that's Vampire right there, yes. The Supernatural Strings of Vampire from Blue Shack Comics. That's from number 3 there. This is the 4th issue, I guess, of an ongoing series. And there's some other creators I'm sure he'll talk about. And in fact, that's the very next question here that Chris asked. Yes. So ah Chris will ask, who's your creative team on this comic? Zach. Mark McKenna and I met at a convention and he loved the story. He signed on and brought his own team with him. David Lapham did me a favor as an old Defiant alumni. Kim Vincent Harris is a local guy, a wildly talented fashion illustrator. I think we've used 20 people this year on our books. Vampire, the second title, will be done in July, and 3 more titles after that this year. So um, this is wave 2. Wave 3 will be one Blue Shack comic a month. All right. And there's number 3 right there. Oh, there's an interesting scene right there. Yeah. Oh, and they did a typo here. They put Chris's initials twice here, but I think the second one there is supposed to be. So, Chris, how do you differentiate from indie publishing and crowdfunding in your process? And I believe this is actually supposed to be Zach, but they goofed here and they put Chris's initials instead. But I think this is Zach responding. Crowdfunding is more about social media presence and network size more than quality. It appears most new indie projects are all about the creator, not the comics, and definitely not the readers. Chris, what other books do you have in the works? Zach, Vampire 5 and 6 will be complete. Will complete the first arc. Vernon or Vernon or Vermin. Okay, Vermin 1 and 2 will be out this year. Encore, the finisher, will also be out this year with Brainsure and Mark McKenna and Ronan Riley. With Brian Shearer, okay, out this year with Brian Shearer and Mark McKenna and Ronan Riley. Oh, and Chrono LARPers. Try saying all that 3 times fast, folks. Any special features on the campaign you'd like to mention? Zach, Kickstarter club card. Every Blue Shack project you back gets you the club card exclusive reward. Books are $5 with a $5 ship. Kickstarter is just a place to buy comics. Chris, thanks, Zach. It looks good. Any last words? Zach, look at Blue Shack. Help us keep chugging. Get on board and have faith. Get on board. The Blue Shack train. People all over the world, get on board. The Blue Shack train. The Blue Shack train. Alrighty then. So with that, as we get ready to move on to the next feature here, The Pumpkin Prince by Missy. Well, by Missy, huh? It's gonna be a very interesting take here, I think. Cover. Mm-hmm. And this is a Fund My Comic project. The Pumpkin Prince. And here's the link to that. If as soon as I get it up here, you guys want to check that out. There's a link to that if you guys want to check that out, of course. All right. Oh, let's get. All right. So the Pumpkin Prince by Missy. So let's look. Wow, kind of kind of an interesting orange and olive green color here. All right. So here we go. All right. So Chris Braley, welcome to Indie Comic Showcase, Missy. Tell me the elevator pitch for the Pumpkin Prince. Missy. In a strange, distant, magical land, Fall Spirit calls upon a new guardian to make sure the world is protected and stays safe. Yet, from the second the new one arrives, it's clear he is different than the others, and in her view, not in a good way. Come watch this new guardian struggle to understand who he is and if he can even figure out his own name. Chris, where did the idea for this comic come from? Missy, I created these characters for fun one day and had some enamel pins made of a few story elements. I began to get requests to expand upon their story and create a comic, and why would I say no to that? I spent 2 years fleshing out the characters, story, and lore, and now it's finally ready to be shared. This first comic will be introducing all of that and leading us into the second. So, looks like she's got at least a plan for do multiple issues of this on this Fun My Comic project. I guess that's a Guardian right there. The Fall Guardian. And as always, guys, if you haven't already, you guys can like and share the stream. See if we can get some more friendly people to engage. Also, if anything here grabs your attention, feel free to comment and or ask questions. We'll try to answer the questions to the best of our ability. I'll try to answer the questions to the best of my ability. So as we continue on here, then continue on with the material here. All right, so Chris asks, "What kind of comic readers is this best suited for? Is it all ages?" Missy, this comic is aimed at readers who love spooky Halloween inspired characters, and well, yeah, we can tell that. You saw the cover, folks. You could tell that. I kind of had a feeling this whole slate looked like kind of a bunch of Halloween comics, basically. Mystery and fantasy. While any age can read this, the story will touch on more mature topics and some violence. My style leans a little more to cartoonish stylization versus realism, but heavily focuses on personality and expressiveness. The interiors are black and white, as I feel that gives a more unique element to dramatic scenes and appearance. Oh, there it is right there. Now there's an interesting look. Chris, since you're the sole creator on this book, what's your production workflow like? Is the book complete? Missy, my workflow right now is separated into stages: thumbnail sketch, fleshed out pages, pencils, inks, then final detail with grayscale applied. Almost half the book is finished in the grayscale color. When all pages are done, they will enter the lettering stage. So this is really kind of picking apart our process here. There's some more for the book, I guess. Let me see that. Reading the article. Let's see now. All right. All right, Chris. What have you been learning from self-publishing through this process? Missy, a good, strong schedule is key to finishing a comic, as well as being honest with how long pages take you. Before launching, I made sure everything was at a point where finishing in the specified time frame was realistic for me. Okay. Chris, are there more stories to tell? What do you have planned next? Missy, I plan to have at least 5 books for the first major act of the story, and provided readers love the direction it goes, there will be many more stories to come. So she's already got some plans here. She's already got plans to at least put out 5 issues, if not more, depending upon how successful the book is. That's good. I would say that's a good plan. Let's see. Coming up on the 27-minute mark there. 3 minutes. So, Chris and asks, any special features on the crowdfunding campaign you want to share? Missy, yes. I have a special early sprouter reward. Early sprouter, which I take is she's taken the idea of course, plant-like situation to like an early bird special, what have you. Word that is $10. Currently on my Fund My Comic. There are 3 spots left where you get the physical book and extra goodies, only available to that tier. There will be a second opportunity to grab this tier when it launches on Kickstarter, or those that prefer this platform, which you can follow me on social media to get that notification at JC at J Call Me Insane. All right, Chris, and that's anything else you would like to share with our readers before we sign off? Missy, I make sure to keep you up to date on milestones, progress, etc. throughout the campaign. I don't go silent during or after. Okay, so there we go with that one. We'll have one more book to look at, promote here. All right. Arcfire by Kevin Davis. So let me go grab that link. So we've had one Kickstarter campaign and now two Fund My Comic campaigns. 2 Fund My Comic campaigns here. With these spellings and some of this does seem like a Halloween Halloween based set of books. That's just my. And here's the link to the GoFundMe campaign if you guys want to go check that out as well. So there it is if you guys want to go check that out. So let's get into this one then. Arcfire by Kevin Davis. Oh, that looks like a werewolf, possibly. Chris Braley, welcome to Indie Comics Showcase, Kevin. Hit me with the pitch for your comic series Arcfire. Kevin Davis, as Catheo delves deeper into his origins, he learns that he is not just an ordinary being, but the last of a powerful ancient race known as the Arcfire. 30 pages of full-colored action and adventure. Okay, then Chris will ask, what's the genesis of this project? Kevin, I was watching a lot of sci-fi movies and writing is my therapy and a way to unleash my creativity. I decided to self-publish because I love storytelling and creating my own world and share it with others. I came up with the idea of Arcfire after watching shows like Stranger Things and Roswell. I think if he's using the title there, Stranger Things should have been at least the first letters of Stranger Things should have been capitalized. But I wanted to tell a story. I guess it's supposed to be story, not or tell a story of self-discovery, and also give a message of going down a path of finding out who you are as a person. Hmm. That guy's ah Chris. Who is this comic aimed at? Kevin. This story is aimed at those who love science fiction manga style comics with a message of finding yourself. Hmm. There's a lovely looking young lady right there. I guess her name's Tristan in the comics here. Redhead. Chris, tell us about your style and creative process. Kevin, I started writing comics in 2023 and didn't know what I was doing until I got advice from other creators. From learning their experiences, I began outlining my stories and practicing writing scripts. I never want to rush anything because quality is important to me. I outline multiple story arcs so I know ahead of time of where I want my stories to go so I don't get lost in my storytelling. I am a huge fan of horror and fantasy, so I try and blend multiple genres together to create my own original story to inspire people. Hmm. All right, let's see. Yeah, okay. Let's see. Carissa, here's another redhead. Got more of a cherry redheaded look. Chris, who else contributed to this project? Kevin, for this book, it was me, Kevin Davis. as writer and publisher, and my artist, Raffi Florentino, who did the pencil, ink, coloring, and lettering. We became friends and met on Facebook when I posted about looking for an artist, and he was one of the first artists I've met. I enjoy not only building a business relationship, but also, um, but also um, a friendship, because I want artists to get to know me as well as get to know them, so we can smoothly work together and have fun. Well, it makes a lot of sense. Makes a lot of sense. Chris, what's your production workflow like? Kevin, my workflow is that I work on multiple scripts a few hours a day, and I edit them. I don't send scripts to artists unless I'm confident with the story. But when I feel complete with the story, I send it to my artist to get their feedback, to make sure it's clear for them to visualize everything. And I send references um, if needed for better understanding. Once I get the green light that everything is clear, we get to production on the pages. So here's all right. Let's see that. Let me just go check to see if all right. Yeah. All right. So Chris asked, "What have you been learning through this process?" And Kevin replies here, "Self-publishing and crowdfunding have taught me a lot about the importance of community and networking. Building a strong support network of friends, family, and fans is crucial in successfully launching a project. It has also taught me the value of perseverance and determination, as the process of self-publishing and crowdfunding can be challenging and time-consuming. Creating through this process has shown me the power of creativity and innovation. It has pushed me to think outside the box and come up with unique ways to market and promote my work. Additionally, it has taught me the importance of being organized and strategic in my approach to launching a project. Um, Overall, um, self-publishing and crowdfunding have been a valuable learning experience that has helped me grow as a creator and entrepreneur. Look at that scene right there. Some pretty sharp imagery there. Chris, what are your plans beyond this book? Kevin, this is just the beginning with Arcfire. There will be more in the story as I'm mapping out the lore, and as the story goes, I will make it more grounded and bring about new characters and character development and twists and turns. That's going to be fun. So it sounds like he's trying to build a universe here. Here we meet Laura. Laura there. she's got kind of a stern look on her face, serious look on her face, doesn't she? Look at that. Look at that look in her eyes. All right. Let's see. Chris then asked, anything else you'd like to share about this comic, Kevin? The unique part about this project is that not only you could receive gifts from me if you get my comic on my crowdfunding campaign, but when you take the time to read the story, it will make you ask questions, and that's what I expect is asking a lot of questions to get you invested in my storytelling. Um, Chris, thanks, Kevin. It looks good. I'll give you the final word, and then Kevin states, if you enjoy fantasy, science fiction comics and crave for action, well, check out Arcfire. That's it for this installment. If you're a creator ramping up your own campaign or have a comic available for purchase online and you want to be featured in our weekly column, click here. And follow Indie Comics Showcase on Twitter at Indie Comics, and reach out to them for more eyes on your crowdfunding comic project. Until next time, support Indie Comics. All right. And with that, let me just clear that out a bit here. And one last kind of go through here for what we. So Vampire number 4. There's the link to it there. If you guys want to go check that one out. Actually, maybe I should have kept that up and gone. Just so we can see the books here real quick. All right, so here's Vampire number 4. You guys want to? There's that one. And Vampire number 4. Hold on. Let's see now. And next up, of course, is The Pumpkin Prince. Here's that book from Missy. So the Vampire number 4 from Zach Lynch. Now Pumpkin Prince from Missy here. So we'll. There it is right there. All right. Anyways. And finally, let's go down to And here's Arc Fire from Kevin Davis. Let me grab that link. So there's Arc Fire. Here's, if you guys want to check that one out. Kevin Davis and Rafi Florentino. Wouldn't want to meet that guy in a dark alley, say the least. All right, so there you go. So that's all we got for that portion of the show here. All right, so with that, now we'll of course go on to the wrestling wrap up. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about some WWE news. Also, of course, we're going to go ahead and just get you guys kind of caught up on what's going to be happening on this Saturday's King and Queen of the Ring event. Find it. Let's see. There it is. All right. So from an event being held in Saudi Arabia on Saturday, from the Jeddah Superdome in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. And we're going to head into the wrestling wrap up here. Actually, even before we even talk about that, a couple of news items did come out. So apparently WWE, as you guys may have heard, WWE had merged with UFC under the umbrella TKO Holdings, and now it would appear that both companies' live events staff have been merged into one department, and therefore there's some layoffs that have happened recently as well. Some people speculate due to the merge. So basically now, under TKO Holdings, WWE and UFC will be basically doing their live events, promoting their live events under one department, and rather than having like a separate department for WWE events and separate department for UFC, they're now all going to be under one department, as live events department. Also, Triple H announced today that that the WWE will be looking to turn SummerSlam into a 2-night event. Of course, right now, anyway, right now, WWE, of course, WrestleMania, as everybody knows, was split up into 2 hours, or two over 2 nights actually, and now it looks like they're going to do the same with SummerSlam. It's been argued that WWE may end up taking their 4 major pay-per-views, of course, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, Survivor Series, and Royal Rumble, and making all 4 of them like 2-night events, to where they can get more matches in and not have such a long 1-night event, so of course they could also do that if they just consolidate their staff. They just stop with a brand extension, unify all the belts, and they wouldn't have that problem. But they want to separate everything out too. So so now with all that being said, of course, let me talk about what's going to be happening on this Saturday's event from Saudi Arabia, from the Jeddah Superdome in Saudi Arabia. So the Queen and King of the Ring final matches will be held there. Already in the respective matches, Lyra Valkyrie representing Raw will be in the Queen of the Ring final, and Gunther representing Raw will be in the King of the Ring final. Now, also another announcement that was made today by Triple H is now, rather than, aside from just simply earning the Queen and King of the Ring crowns, um, each of the winners of the Queen and King of the Ring will also get a guaranteed title shot at some point in the future. So whoever wins the finals of the Queen and King of the Ring will also earn a title shot at some point down the road. Now, when they decide to take that, I don't know if that's going to work out in the same vein as Money in the Bank, or if they'll just cash it in immediately, or if they'll set something up. But basically, that Triple H announced it probably to give King and Queen of the Ring a little more meaning. Let's see. Also at the King and Queen of the Ring event in Saudi Arabia, Becky Lynch defends the women's world title against Liv Morgan. Sami Zayn will be defending the Intercontinental title in a triple threat match against Bronson Reed and Chad Gable. And Cody Rhodes defends the WWE and WWE Universal titles against United States champion Logan Paul. So that's what's on tap for this weekend's King and Queen of the Ring events. Now let's talk about AEW. As last night they had their go home event, their go home Dynamite event, heading into this Saturday's Double or Nothing pay-per-view. The opening match saw Trent Beretta and Roderick Strong defeat Orange Cassidy and Will Ospreay in a match in which they got some help from Wardlow, and of course the other members of the Undisputed Kingdom, Wardlow, and of course the Kingdom of Mike Bennett and Matt Taven all helped Roderick Strong beat down Orange Cassidy, or not Orange Cassidy, but Will Ospreay. Now Don Callis was at ringside. People were thinking maybe he'd try to get some help for Ospreay and Cassidy. Of course, he's been trying to recruit Orange Cassidy of late. Of course, Will Ospreay is, but it may work. It may end up working. May work a twist in. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. In a three-way match to see who would challenge Chris Jericho for the FTW title, Hook and Katsuyori Shibata got a double submission on Brian Keith to both earn a shot, turning the FTW title match at Double Nothing into a three-way. So Chris Jericho will now have to defend the FTW title against former champ Hook and Katsuyori Shibata. Konosuke Takeshita, in quick fashion, defeated Matt Sydal in a match that was more about giving Takeshita some momentum heading into Double Nothing, as he's preparing to challenge Jon Moxley in a IWGP title eliminator match. Now, what this will mean is Takeshita. We'll talk more about it a little later, but Takeshita will be challenging Jon Moxley at Double or Nothing for the chance to earn a shot at the IWGP World Heavyweight title. So, and he of course defeated Matt Sydal in just under 2 minutes. And as he was beating Sydal down after the match, brought out Jon Moxley, which led to a confrontation between the two. Then, and Swerve Strickland defeated the Patriarchy's Nick Wayne, the Prodigy, as a way to get back at Christian, and then after the match, of course, Luchasaurus jumped Swerve, or came in and attacked Swerve, for as the rest of the Patriarchy of Christian and Mother Wayne came out to tend to Nick Wayne, only for Swerve Strickland to low blow Luchasaurus, dispatch him, and then go after Christian, which saw the return of Prince Nana to cut Christian's escape off, and we see kind of maybe a preview of what's to come on Sunday, including a nasty DDT on top of a car, top of a Jeep Cherokee by Swerve Strickland onto Christian. Basically in a special challenge match heading into Double or Nothing, Malachi Black defeated Kyle O'Reilly in what was considered a solid match between two well-known strikers. The aftermath of the match led to kind of a flashback of sorts for fans, going back to Edge's early WWE career as a member of the Brood, as he basically, as Malachi Black was standing in the ring after having defeated Kyle O'Reilly, got himself a nice little bloodbath. In fact, one of the things about it was that we almost heard Excalibur actually curse on TV as he started what the, and then he stopped himself before he actually finished the statement. And then Tony Schiavone, of course, was what the hell. But in that, we also saw in a women's match, AEW Women's Champion Toni Storm and Mariah May defeat the Outcast tag team of Harley Cameron and Saraya, only for, of course, after the match for Toni Storm's Double or Nothing opponent, Serena Deeb, to come out and attack Storm, pinning her on her stomach underneath a chair, and then sitting on the chair executing a half crab maneuver as the referees were trying to get her off her so you could hold the match. And then Bryan Danielson defeated Satnam Singh in the main event by a DQ in what was more an attempt to try to injure Bryan Danielson before the Anarchy in the Arena event coming up at Double or Nothing, in which of course the Young Bucks, in their capacity as EVPs, had Darby Allin banned from the building, only for Tony Khan to make his return and unban Darby Allin from the building. And with a flamethrower, decided to help Danielson. They sent Nicholas Jackson through a table and kept the rest of the New Elite at bay. So that's all that happened on Dynamite last night. And now as we talk a little bit about what's coming up this Sunday for Double or Nothing, here's pretty much the cards. There are a couple other things that happened, of course. Bang Bang Gang came out. Jay White and the Guns came out, do a promo. So we'll talk about right now what's on tap for this Sunday. So at this Sunday's Double or Nothing event, here's what happened. So the unified 6-man titles, the AEW World Trios and Ring of Honor World 6-man, the unified 6-man titles will be on the line as Bang Bang Gang of Jay White and the Guns are set to defend the titles against former AEW World Trios champion Death Triangle of Pac and the Lucha Brothers of Penta El Zero Miedo and Rey Fenix. And they'll, of course, have Alex Abrahantes in their corner. Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta will be taking each other on in a one-on-one match. Also set up on last night's Dynamite, a three-way match for the FTW titles. Chris Jericho defends against Katsuyori Shibata and Hook. In an eliminator match for the IWGP World Heavyweight Title eliminator match, Jon Moxley will be answering the challenge of Konosuke Takeshita. Now, as we've explained before, what happens with these eliminator matches is if the challenger defeats the champion in these matches, then they earn themselves a chance at the title at some later date. That's pretty much, so that's what the eliminator match is for. So Takeshita will be looking to earn a shot by defeating Moxley in this eliminator match. In a barbed wire steel cage match, Adam Copeland will be defending the AEW TNT title. I probably said Edge earlier just because of the bloodbath. But Adam Copeland, going back to his Brood roots, as it were, will be defending the AEW TNT title in a barbed wire steel cage match against Malachi Black, as we talked about. For the AEW Women's World title, Toni Storm will be defending against Serena Deeb. She'll have, of course, Luther and Mariah May in her corner. The AEW International title will be on the line as Roderick Strong will be defending against Will Ospreay. Willow Nightingale defends the TBS title against Mercedes Moné. Swerve Strickland will be defending the AEW World title against Christian Cage. And in Anarchy in the Arena match, this is set up as the main event. You'll have Team AEW represented by two-time AEW World Tag Team Champions FTR of Dax Harwood and Cash Wheeler, teaming with Bryan Danielson and Darby Allin to take on the new elite of the Young Bucks of Matthew Nicholas Jackson, AEW, who are also the AEW three-time AEW World Tag Team Champions, AEW Continental Champion of Kazuchika Okada, and Jack Perry. So that's all we got for in AEW news. Now we'll do a real quick TNA. Let me just see if we. That's surprising. Let's see. Because tonight, of course, on Access channel, on Access, there's TNA Impact. Of course, coming from Newport, Kentucky. And, of course, So on tonight's Impact, as they're preparing, as they start to make their way towards Against All Odds pay-per-view in June in Chicago. From the Megacorp Pavilion in Newport, Kentucky, TNA tonight on TNA Impact, Tasha Steelz takes on Jody Threat, who will have her tag partner Danny Luna and Lars Fredrickson in her corner. In a TNA Knockout World title match, Jordan Grace defends against Marty Bell. Matt Hardy and Ryan Nemeth will be taking on the system members of Eddie Edwards and Brian Myers, of course, not for the title, non-title match. And in a number one contendership match for the TNA X Division title, former TNA X Division champion Mike Bailey will take on his Speedball Mountain partner, Trent Seven. So there we go with all that. That's all we have for the wrestling route. And we have King here. What's your favorite Berserk 2016 moment? I haven't watched the 2016 version of it, but I have seen the 1987 moment. 97 was actually pretty gory, but pretty good as a gory show. So anyways, now with all that being said, today being Thursday, May 23rd, 2023, let's take a look back. This day in Nietzsche history. So, all right. So first off, we're going to head back to 1999, 25 years ago today. On this date in 1999, WWE held its Over the Edge pay-per-view from Kemper Arena in Kansas City, Missouri. Of course, this is 25 years ago. This is also the night that the wrestling world lost Owen Hart in that fatal fall he took from the rafters of the Kemper Arena. So, aside from that, of course, the event also had an event which people felt should have been canceled. Should have been canceled once Owen had his fatal fall. But the main event saw The Undertaker defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin for the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, with, of course, Shane and Mr. McMahon serving as special guest referees. The Rock defeated Triple H via DQ. Let's see. An 8-man tag team elimination match, the Union, which was the team comprised of Ken Shamrock, Mankind, Test, Big Show defeated the Corporate Administrative team comprised of the Acolytes of Bradshaw and Farouk, the Big Boss Man, and Viscera. The other, let's see. Al Snow retained the Hardcore title, the Hardcore title, and Kane and X-Pac retained the WWF World Tag Team titles over D'Lo Brown and Mark Henry. Now, as I said, but now also this is also on the night that Owen Hart tragically passed away from a fatal fall at the Kemper Arena from the rafters. He was initially under his Blue Blazer gimmick, was supposed to face the Godfather for the WWF Intercontinental title. And there are some people who are stating that he was going to probably win the title at that point as well. So, let's see, what does Paramount mean, and how do you use it? Well, Paramount, the word simply means, I believe, peak. The peak, like peak of a mountain. That's why when you see like Paramount, the Paramount Pictures, avatar there, it's the Paramount is the peak of something, at the top of something. So they reach the paramount of their journey up the mountain. All right. So, anyways, getting ready to move on now to the next piece of niche. Moving ahead to 2009. On this date in 2009, Cartoon Network and Hasbro, Cartoon Network and Hasbro Entertainment's Transformers animated series would finish its run on Cartoon Network. So Transformers Animated, which was produced by Cartoon Network Studios and Hasbro Entertainment, would complete its run on Cartoon Network on this date back in 2009, 15 years ago today. So 15 years ago today, Cartoon Network Transformers Animated would complete its run. Will there be no live stream this Memorial Day weekend? No, I am going to live stream. Yeah, I mean tomorrow night, of course. Tomorrow night's going to be um our historical comic resident, and then I'll have a stream on Monday. Of course, I will. So, anyways, moving on to the next to the final final bit of history today. On this date back in 2018, which is 6 years ago today. 6 years ago today, the fifth and final issue of Cosmo from Archie Comics went on sale on this date back in 2018. It sold for $3.99 and it was 28 pages. So on this date, 6 years ago today, the fifth and final issue of Cosmo went on sale on this date back in 2018. So with all that being said, I thank everybody for being here. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Of course, as I just mentioned, we will be back here tomorrow night. I'll have Apex from Apex Comics on with me. We'll be looking back comics that went on sale in February 1940. We'll be looking at comics that went on sale from Prize Comics Volume 1, Issue 2. We'll be looking at features such as Power Nelson, Jupiter the Master Magician, Black Owl, and Storm Curtis. So let's see. I have some questions about Vic. Well, I mean, there's not much I can really say, aside from everything I've already said. I mean, as far as I know, he's doing all right. He's of course still doing his stuff on Rumble. I think he still he will go to Anime Matsuri at least. I think there still are some conventions that are still there still are some conventions that are still having him. Basically, there's no real new information on Vic or any of that stuff that's been reported. So there's not much more I can answer right now. I don't know of any new roles of late he's doing or like that. So with that, Tamashi So. All right. Anyways, with that, all right. Hey there. Did Nick Rekieta get arrested today? I don't know. I honestly don't know because I mean, I haven't really been watching Nick in a while. Because he's just been doing mostly. He hasn't really been doing as much. Obviously his first love is more the legal stuff. But I'm not even. Again, I'm not even I'm not. I have seen some stuff where like I know like Ethan's been talking. I guess he's been doing some stuff lately, but anyways, let's see. What's your favorite Mario game? Well, I would say Super Mario World is probably the one I know mostly. So with that though, I thank everybody for being here, and I hope to see everybody back here tomorrow. Bye.